Hey fans, what's up? It's Gamer Guy 7 Aces here, and wow, that was the conclusion of the Crisis City arc in the Sonic IDW Comics. Now I want to talk about this entire arc of the Metal Virus Saga thus far, which is Season 2, and the next arc which we're going to get, which I think I may know the title of the next arc. But first of all, let's talk about this. I really love this issue. I think this issue is genuinely better than the previous issue because a lot of people took issue with the last issue with Shadow. I have to say my favorite issue so far this arc, my favorite one is still the first issue, Plague, issue 17, with the chaotics and all that. That's still the best issue of this arc. Then, you know, it kind of declined a bit. Basically, the second part of this arc, issue 18, which was Plague, I think. No, it wasn't Plague, it was Victims. That was with Cream the Rabbit's introduction, her mom Vanilla and Germo. That was good too. And then we had the clown issue last month, I think. And then this one, which is a lot better. Now I'm going to be doing these reviews a bit differently. I'm not going to be covering everything bit by bit like what some, you know, comic reviewers do of the Sonic IDW comics. I'm just going to talk about key points in the story which I really liked that stuck out to me. Also, before I begin, be sure to smash that like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Be sure to support these videos so I can do more like these. But alright, I think the first thing that stuck out to me was when Sonic was fighting Shadow the Zombot. So basically, when Sonic was fighting Shadow, he told Rouge the Bat to escape in the gun truck, or whatever that 18-wheeler was. So the moment she escaped with the truck, Shadow started chasing them, and Shadow was running. Because he's a Zombot, he's not Shadow anymore. Like, he lost his mentality, his mind of Shadow, so he's just running towards them. He's not skating. As you guys know, when Shadow runs high speed, he skates. This definitely confirmed my theory from years ago that Shadow isn't as fast or faster than Sonic without his hover shoes or his skate shoes, whatever you want to call them, because he was just running towards the truck and Sonic was like, I'm not quoting these, but Sonic was like, oh Shadow, you're pretty fast, but because you're a Zombot, you're not as fast as you are a Shadow because you're running, you're not skating, you don't know how to skate yet. So, you know, but Sonic did take note that Shadow was still faster than the average creature, the average human or anthropomorph, but he's nowhere near faster than Sonic without skating. So that stuck out to me because I was like, you know, for years I've been telling people about this and I don't know why no one wants to believe me. They're like, they don't even think about the logistics. They just get triggered that I say Sonic is better than Shadow at anything, and then they get mad. It's like, think about it. Remember Sonic Adventure 2, that cutscene, right before the boss with Shadow, when Shadow was like, interesting, but you know I can't let you live or something. At first they were talking and walking, then they were talking and jogging. Then the moment Sonic started going high speeds running as Sonic, that's when Shadow started skating to catch up with Sonic. So I mean, some things are better left shown than explained. Shadow obviously has to skate so he can keep up with Sonic. That's just a fact. Like, I don't even know why people were getting triggered at that anytime I said that in the past. It's like, it's true. If Shadow isn't as fast as Sonic with skates, why the hell does he even need skate shoes, you know? Now, one person, Hanky, told me on Twitter, he asked me, but is Sonic fast without his shoes, though? And I told him, I don't care about that theory. That's just the gateway of furries, you know, and their pictures and fetishes of Sonic barefoot. I do remember reading a story before when Sonic was without his shoes, so anytime he ran, especially on hard surfaces, it hurt his feet. He was still fast, but he would be more efficient wearing shoes because barefoot it would hurt his feet, kind of like a regular human being. And remember, these are anthropomorphs. And then after that they kept on fighting, then Omega joined in to help Sonic because Sonic was getting effed on both sides, Shadow, and it feels like there's like over 1 million Zombots, you know? And then it's funny when Sonic was helping Omega and Sonic was like, come on, I'm looking out for a friend. I forgot what Sonic said, but Sonic was like referring to Omega as a friend. And Omega looks like, we are not friends. You are simply in my path from massacring these Zombots. And it's like, wow. I chuckle at that because, you know, it's funny. I never really saw Omega as Sonic's friend. He's more like Shadow and Rouge's friend. He never even associates with Sonic. It's just funny because we all just assume all of the Sonic characters are Sonic's friends. That's how we call them. That's how the critics refer to them, Sonic's friends. But not all of them are Sonic's friends. Omega, for one thing, is not Sonic's friend. I mean, you can even argue that Rouge is not really Sonic's friend too. She's just an acquaintance of his, you know, just like an ally. But she mostly hangs out with Shadow and used to hang out with Knuckles when they used to have their little flirting thing going on. And then basically Shadow the Zombot, the other Zombots kind of destroy Omega, only leaving his headpiece. I seriously thought they were going to destroy or kill Omega in this issue, but Tails managed to save Omega along with Silver with only his headpiece. So it's funny because he was still talking smack and stuff, like make sure that you install a jawline this time so I can crunch the Zombot's bones or something. Omega's funny. He's always had that low-key dry humor as a robot, you know. It kind of reminds me of that from that YouTuber who made that Eggman video, parody video, that I've come to make an announcement type of video. And like when Shadow told Omega to count the particles of sand, or when Omega was like, I have not smoked weed, but I will inject this into my system. Holy shit. It's funny. I always saw Omega as just a funny, dry, funny character. He's not trying to be funny at all. He has no sense of humor, but he's just unintentionally funny. But anyway, long story short, so then they get back to Restoration HQ and everything, and you know, Sonic is trying to keep his distance from everybody because he's still infected. But Amy just wanted to see him to see how he was. When Rouge asked Sonic what happened to Shadow, and Sonic is like, sorry, Shadow's gone. And Rouge is upset. Rouge is just like, I told that idiot to run. It's funny. I'm glad they addressed that, because it's like, you know, Rouge, like, she's not going to take any nonsense, you know. She's not going to be crying and bawling her eyes out. I mean, she is sad that Shadow is gone, but she's still frustrated, upset with him for making such a stupid mistake because he did. So I'm glad the writers, Ian Flynn and the IDW writers, are actually acknowledging this. Then we get to Sonic talking to Silver and Tails. And this is definitely something I speculated. When Sonic asked Silver to run down exactly what he told Sonic way back in the first season, you know, in the first saga, about why Silver even came back to the past and stayed there. Because Blaze already left. She already went to her own dimension after the conclusion of the Battle of Angel Island arc. But Silver chose to stay because he said in his future, he saw no life forms, nothing but metal, metallic grass and everything. So that was all the way in issue 8. That was a foreshadow of the Metal Virus saga. I love how the writers have been planning for this since the first season. It really builds the connective tissue between the first and the second season. I really can't imagine them apart. They're together. So when Silver was like, yeah, so that's why I chose to stay here, because I want to make sure I prevent this future from becoming like that. So yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool. That really connects things. And so basically, long story short, Tails thinks he's found the cure for this Metal Virus saga, but he needs everyone's help. So all hands on deck. So then it gets to the last scene, which is Dr. Starline basically still lamenting about Dr. Eggman's stupidity about all of this. You know, Starline is pretty new with working with Eggman. Eggman, you know, most of his 99.9% of his downfalls are all his fault. I think the only thing that wasn't really his fault was the Eggman War. And it showed because he conquered like 99% of Sonic's world. That was the one time he learned from his mistakes. So Starline is trying to find any of Dr. Eggman's old files to find out how to control these Zombots, because they're getting out of control and Eggman can't control them. So then he looks in Eggman's old files and finds out the records Eggman had about the Lost Hex, basically the events of Sonic Lost World. How the Zeddy or the Deadly Six have the ability to control robots. And Dr. Starline was like, that's it. I can go to the Lost Hex, find the Deadly Six to control the Zombots. Because the Zombots, yes, they're zombies, but at the end of the day, they're mecha. They're mecha hazards. They're not biohazards. So he's like, if I get the Deadly Six or the Zeddy, they can control all these Zombots. I can do what Dr. Eggman couldn't do. So I like it that Dr. Starline is finally taking initiative and becoming the head here instead of just becoming Dr. Eggman's lackey. And man, that makes him way more competent than Eggman. But I can't wait to see Zavok and the other Deadly Six. And this time they're going to be useful. Like Zavok is going to get his redemption arc this time, because now they're going to control the Zombots. So I really wonder how this is going to play. But that concludes the end of Crisis City arc. So the next arc, I was joking about on my Twitter saying the next arc will be Zavok or Lord Zavok's Revenge arc. And by the way, is it Zavok or Zavok? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, the next arc is definitely, my money is on it being called the Last Minute arc. It's definitely going to be called the Last Minute, because the next 3 issues are issues 21 to 23. are going to be called the Last Minute Part 1, the Last Minute Part 2, and 3. And knowing the pattern that these IDW comics take, anytime a title is the same for more than one issue, like Fallout Part 1, 2, 3, 4, or The Fate of Dr. Eggman Part 1, Angel Island Battle Part 1, anytime that's the case, that is the name of the arc. So the arc is definitely going to be called Last Minute Arc. And basically for the next 3 arcs, it's going to happen simultaneously. Like you're going to have Tails doing his own thing with, you know, Tangle and Whisper. You're going to have Amy doing her own thing with the Restoration HQ. And you're going to have Sonic doing his own thing. And it's just going to be Sonic and Dr. Eggman face to face. So I thought about it and I was like, damn, this is actually going to be the first time Sonic meets Dr. Eggman since the events of Sonic Forces. So issue 23. So it definitely feels like the whole entirety of the IDW comics have been building to this huge, you know, epic event. Sonic meeting Dr. Eggman finally and having a showdown with Dr. Eggman and Dr. Starline. So I can't wait for issue 23. That comes out in November. But next arc I think is going to be the best arc. You know, they always save the best for last. And while my favorite arc is still the Battle for Angel Island, the Crisis City arc is definitely my favorite arc of the Metal Virus saga thus far. But I'm pretty sure the Last Minute arc, I'm really going to love that. So what do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below. What is your favorite arcs from your favorite to your least favorite? I have to say my favorite arc from my favorite to my least favorite is starting with number 1 is the Battle for Angel Island. That still hasn't been topped. Then the next one has got to be Crisis City because I really love the first 2 issues of it, you know. I'm not going to let what happened to Shadow ruin, you know, my feelings for this arc. I really love it. It's the darkest arc of Sonic IDW thus far. Then my third favorite has to be The Fate of Dr. Eggman. I really love that. Really love the mystery undertone of that arc. So those are my top 3 arcs. Then the next one is it's got to be Infection arc. And then my last is Fallout arc. Yeah, I think I said it before, my least favorite arc is the arc I'm actually tackling with Sonic Rebound. I call it the Sonic Forces arc because it's pretty much post-Forces. But yeah, I can't wait for the Last Minute arc. What about you guys? Where do you think the series is going to go from here? Like, how do you think it's going to end? It's going to be great. And what do you think the Zeddies, what purpose do you think they're going to have in the next arc? And is Zavok finally going to be redeemed as a character? I hope so, because I really hate how he was portrayed in Sonic Forces. Alright guys, thanks for watching my review / speculation of the next arc of Sonic IDW and the Crisis City arc. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it so I can make more videos like this. But alright guys, that wraps it up for now. So take care. And until next time, swag out.